Welcome back to the Crochet Creatives. How's my friends at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today's the Wonky Square Afghan. Today my concentration is only on the square. The white square and the color squares are the exact same. The difference is that one is not changing color and the other one is. I'm going to be bouncing between two colors today using Karen Jumbo Twirl yarn, and it's going to be an interesting time. Now, I did this before, not in tutorial format, but I made a whack of these for charity for Crochet Cruises when we did the cruises at that time. And so I made a whole blanket's worth of these and then I distributed it out for charity purposes. So this is actually a pretty easy idea to follow. And when you look at the crochet diagram, you're going to notice is that it will twist on itself. So it sees that it's more of a diamond shape in the middle and it will keep twisting out. So it's a neat idea. Now in here, I put red writing. You can find that if you go onto the video link, the video description, there's a link for the free pattern. I posted this so that you can print this. And what this number represents is the number of stitches that it will take. So for example, 8 here, there's 8 half double crochets in a row, and then 5 here, there's 5 double crochets, 7 trebles. So I did it after this space here, so that's where those numbers represent. So you can download that and save it and print it, whatever you want to do. So without further ado, you'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook and whatever colors that you decide to use. It's recommending Bernat Super Value, and you can see all the different colors available on the free download. Let's begin. Whatever color is your first color is the start, and let's create a slip knot and begin. And we are going to just put it onto your H 5mm hook, and you need to chain 2. So 1 and 2. Second chain from the hook, you want to put in 8 single crochets. So we're going to start second chain from the hook, which is the beginning chain, and put 8. And let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, go right up over top of the tail, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you have your 8 done, if you want to count back to make sure, just count back from the top and count 8 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. So just slip stitch to the 8th one back, which is the first single crochet that you started with. We're going to keep this color going then for the next round. If you went over top of the straggler like I did, then just take your scissors and just safely cut that out. And let's move on to round number 2. Round number 2, we're going to keep this color for one more round. You're going to chain 1, and starting on the same one that you did the join with, you're going to place 2 single crochets in each. So what I do for myself to make it easier is that when I start the first one, I will say 1 and 1 is in the first stitch. So there's 2 of those in there. So then I say 2 and 2 and keep moving around, 3 and 3 and 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7, and then 8 and 8. So why I count it that way is that the first one right here always looks like a stitch, but it's not. But if you verify that you have your 8, so there was 8 stitches and you had 2 in each, so 8 and 8 is the end. So it allows you not to miscount. So you're going to slip stitch it to the top of the first single crochet, just like that. Turn it over, and I'm only going to show you one time on how to secure the ends. So we're just going to trim it and just pull it through. And turn it over to the back side of your square and take a tapestry needle. You're not going to want to weave it in with your hook because it will fall out. So take your tapestry needle, take the few moments it takes, and just weave it through the back side of the same color. So when the colors change in the future, don't weave it into a color that is not the same color. So don't weave a blue into a white section is what I'm saying. So you're going to want to weave it back and forth a total of 3 times. And you'll do that each and every time. Just takes a few moments and then you won't have any worries in the end. And then you can safely trim that down. And then you can get ready for your next round. Let's move on to round number 3 with a new color. Let's move on to round number 3. I'm going to tell you something now that's not in the pattern, that's just experience talking to you, but if you don't want to do it my way, then do it the way the pattern's suggesting. So we're going to pick any stitch that you want. Okay, and you're going to go into that stitch. Now the pattern says is to attach it like this and then chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet. And the problem when you do that is that it always looks like it's sticking out like a sore thumb. So what I'm going to recommend to you is that we're going to go back in and again, and I would do this every time that there is a chain 3 involved or something like that. Okay, so just going into any stitch, attach it, and then just chain 1 only. So instead of chaining 3 to count as a double crochet, I want you just after the chain 1, just double crochet into the same one you did the attaching to, and it will look more finished when you get around. I'm going to take you all the way around. So every stitch is going to get something. So in the next one, it's going to be a half double crochet. Go right up over top of the straggler to trap it underneath. So we're going to say a half. And the next one is a single. The next one is a half. Oops, it's a half. And the next one is a double. So the double crochet is technically the corner on this round. So when I started we were on the first corner, this is the second. So you can let the straggler now fall out and start continuing around. So let's just keep on going. So we're going to do a half, and then a single, a half, and the next one is a double. And there is your next corner. Okay, well, let's keep on going. The next one is a half. I'm a little tight today. Don't tell anybody though. So half, single, half, and then double. Okay, there's another corner. So we have one last side to go. So we go into the next one with this a half, single, and then a half. And that always looks like there's a stitch missing. That's just the nature of crochet. So don't worry about that because I had to do the chain 1. When you go to slip stitch it to the top of the chain 1, it's gonna disappear. It's magic, okay? So that was here, and what you want to do is that you want to get rid of this color. So do what I suggested with the coloring and get rid of it. So just turn it over, snip it, weave it in. And for tutorial purposes, I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it hang. And we will move on to the next round, number 4. In round number 4, we're now going to start introducing these spaces. And in the future rounds, we're going to be using that space to help it to start to turn. So technically, we're looking at it from this point of view, but now this next round is going to start causing the twist. Let's begin round number 4. Round number 4, get your yarn ready, put it onto the hook. And in the first double crochet, or the top of the chain 3, depending what you wanted, you're going to attach your yarn in, and just slip stitch it to hold it. And then in this case, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the top of that one. And now we're going to cause the stitches to get taller, which is going to cause the twist. So everything has been labeled on the pattern, so everything is in sets of 1. So we have 1 single crochet, then we have 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and into the next stitch, go right up over the straggler as well. It's going to be a double crochet. And then in the next stitch, it's a treble. So wrap twice and in, and pull through 2, 2, and 2. So you can see that it's gotten taller. So to move on, we need to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here's the repeat, and then you're going to do that off camera. Okay, well, I am, and you are too. So you start with the first one, the next stitch, it's going to be a single, and then start getting taller. So 1 single, 1 half, 1 double, okay, and 1 treble. Wrap that hook twice for trebles, and then you're going to cause that space to happen, so chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and start in the next stitch. So single, half, double, treble. And you need to do this around for lucky round number 4. I'll be right back. So I'm on my last piece here, and it always looks like you're gonna skip a stitch, but you're not. It just looks like it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch it to the top of the first single crochet that you started with. Okay, and then we're going to so in crochet, there always looks like there's a space, and in this one, it looks really evident. So what I'm gonna do, and it's just for this round, you need to do it. So here's an ad lib. You're gonna chain 4, and before you attach it to here, which makes this look like it's skipped, just do this. Just go into that stitch and just pull through a loop, and then go through the top of the first single, pull through a loop, and then pull through everything. So that doesn't change the stitch count, but it makes it look like it filled in. Okay, so you can reverse the video if you need to see that again. And then get rid of this color, and we'll move on to round number 5. Round number 5, we're gonna start in the chain 4 space before you did the attaching. And you're just gonna go right into the space, and it will naturally space itself out. So just attach it first around the space, and then chain 1. And in this particular case, what we need to do is 2 singles in a row on the same space. So just put 2 singles into the space, so 1 and 2. So these spaces always have 4 stitches, so just push it back out of the way if you need more space. And then you're going to put in 2 half double crochets into the same space. Everything's in sets of 2 on this round. Okay, so we had 2 singles, 2 halves. The next 2 stitches, okay, so you have these stitches left. So the next 2 stitches that you'll have, you will put in 2 double crochets in a row. So if you're not sure where to start, this is your last 2 here. This is the next 2. And just double crochet into the next 2. And then the last 2 before the space is a treble, so wrap twice. Okay, and after that's done, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So to start a new side, you start right into the space first, and you're going to do 2 singles. So 1 and 2. Pull it back if you need more space. And then 2 halves. So 1 and 2. And because it's not a slip stitch side, it's more obvious. So then the next 2 are double crochets. And then the last 2 before the space is a treble each. So 2 trebles in a row. And then you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and continue with the next space, exactly what I just showed you. Please do this around for round number 5. I'm on my last side, finishing up the last 2 trebles. And then what do you got to do? You have to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet that you started with. And then you're going to get rid of this color, and you can see that the twist happened even more. when you did the last round. Okay, it'll become more obvious as you go. So let's continue then to round number 6. Round number 6, get your new color up and let's go. So you're going to go into the chain 4 space before the join, and you are going to just wrap it around and attach. Chain 1, and in round number 6 there's only going to be 3 single crochets in a row. So we're going to count those out together. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And remember that I said that there's 4 stitches in each of these chain 4 spaces. So the next stitch is in the same space is going to be a half double crochet. Okay, now starting into the next stitch that is available to you right here, you are going to put in a half double crochet as well. So you're going to do 1, and then the next one is a half double crochet as well. So in the that sheet that I had you, there was 2 in a row. Okay, so don't count that one. So it's 3 singles, 1 half. Now there's 2 in a row here on the main square itself, not in the space, and then you're going to have 3 doubles in a row. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then the last 3 stitches before the corner is going to be a treble each. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then what are you going to do? Did you say chain 4? That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you were going to slip stitch, or sorry, you're going to single crochet into this next space. So you single crochet 3 times into the space. So we have 1, 2, 3. Just pull it back if you need more space, and then a half double crochet in that same space. And so then a fresh side here, starting in the first one. So there's going to be 2 halves in a row. So we have 1 and 2, and then you have 3 doubles in a row. 1, 2, and 3. And then the last 3 are a treble each. 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and start right in the next space and continue what you already learned. And I will see you at the end of this row, number 6. Near the end of this round, number 6, chain 3 after the last treble, and then just slip stitch it to the top of the first, or to the beginning single crochet. Get rid of that color and you're ready to move on once again. Lucky round number 7 is an easy round, and you're going to attach to the chain 4 that is before the join. Chain 1 and put 4 single crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So why I say it's easier is that this whole row or round is all about the number 4. So starting in the very next one, you're going to have 4 half double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to have 4 doubles in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the last 4 that you have is each a treble. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's do another side together. So you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, come right to the space and start again. So you'll have 4 singles in a row into that space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in the next stitch right here, you're going to do 4 halves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4 doubles. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the last 4 that you have, they're each a treble. And you'll do that all the way around. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then chain 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and come right into the space and start again another side. Please do this around for lucky round number 7. Of course, at the end of the round, you'll chain 4 again and slip stitch it to the top of the first single crochet. So you'll get rid of this color again, and we'll move on to round number 8. Moving to round number 8, get your next color up and go to the space before the join. Attach it, chain 1, and do 4 single crochets into the same space. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the counts are going to be a little bit unique as we go. So now there's going to be 6 starting in the next stitch. There's going to be 6 half double crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then there's going to be 5 double crochets in a row. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last 5 that you will have here is that they're each a treble. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then start another side. So chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take you through again. So the first space is 4 singles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in the next one, on the side here, 6 halves in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have 5 doubles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last 5 are each a treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the space and start your 4 singles again, and continue with what you already know going around. Please do this, and I'll be right back. Near the end of the round, chain 4, and then slip stitch to the beginning single. Okay, let's move on to round number 9 next. 9 is the last time you're going to keep the twist going, and let's change out the yarn and I'll be right back. Let's keep on going to number 9, and we're going to attach it to the chain 4 before the join. Chain 1 and then 4 single crochets into the same space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to keep our counts going so they're a little bit unique as you're going around. Starting in the very first one, you're going to have 8 half double crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The next 5 in a row are each a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last 7 that you have is each a treble. So we'll count those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 takes you right to the end. So let's start a new side. So we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting in the space, 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then starting in the first one, you have 8 half double crochets in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you have 5 doubles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last 7 are each a treble. Let's count those out together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start again with the 4 singles and etc. Please do this around for your final round of the twist, and this is round number 9. The end of round number 9 is the last time you'll be chaining your 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and attach to the first single crochet. Let's get rid of this color and move on to round number 10. It's all downhill from now. We have your next round, number 10. So you have your technical corners in here. So just kind of keep an eye on those. And you're going to start in your first chain 4 space before the join. So remember when I said that there was a chain 3 here that kind of looks off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the same advice. So I'm going to just attach it. And instead of chaining 3 to make it look like a double crochet, I'm only going to chain 1. And then in the same space, I'm going to put 4 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, starting in the first one that you did the join with, you're just going to you're just going to double crochet until you get to that next chain 4 space. So just double crochet in each stitch, and then I'll see you on the next chain 4 space to make sure that you're turning properly. And I'll be right back in a moment. the first chain 4 space corner is coming up. So in the corner, apply 1 double crochet only, and then to turn the corner, you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then in the same space, there's going to be 4 into this side of it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then starting in the next stitch out, you just go along the side until you hit to the next corner and do the exact same thing. Please go round number 10. The end of round number 10, you still have to go into this first corner. So the first space, just double crochet in, chain 3, and then just attach to the top of the first double crochet that you started with. Okay, let's get rid of this color again and move on to round number 11 and 12 because they're both the same. Round number 11, you were going to start on the first double crochet after the turn. Okay, so just kind of peel it back if you don't know which one it is. It's right here. It's the one that you did the attaching to. So you're just going to, in this one here, we're going to attach, and it says to chain 2. Here's my ad lib. Just chain 1 only, and then put a half double crochet into that same one. If you chain 2 and then a half double crochet, it stands out. So just make it, it'll blend better if it's just chain 1. So you're going to blast your way across, and then in the next corner, you are going to apply 2 half double crochet, and then chain 2 and 2 half double crochet, and then continue along down the sides. So just half double crochet round with 2 halves, chain 2 and 2 halves in each of the corners. I'll be right back at the end of round number 11. Coming around on the final, and you were going to chain 2, and so you got 2 into the space, and then you're going to apply another 2 half double crochet. So then just attach it to the top of the first half double crochet that you started with. Sorry about the bounce. I actually ducked, my lighting system slipped. Okay, so let's finish this round and I'll be right back. Let's get rid of this color and do your final round today. Round number 12 is the final round for each one of the squares. Get ready, you get your final color ready, and you're going to attach to the top of the first half double crochet right here after the space. Okay, so we're gonna go right into that one. And so we gotta finish that final space when we get around. So just chain 1 only, that's my suggestion. And in the same one, just half double crochet in. So if you like it as per the pattern, please do it that way. So starting in the very next one, you were going to half double crochet in each, going all the way to the other side. And then what I need you to do is on the corners, just like you did before, it's 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet, and I'll see you on the final corner in just a moment. So I'm coming around and I'm going to apply 2 halves into the first corner that we started before. So we started after that corner, chain 2, and then 2 more halves into that same corner. And that will conclude then how to do this square. So I'm gonna talk about the rest of the instructions that you'll have, and just weave in your ends, and we'll go from that point. And this is how you do the square itself, and let's go to the instructions. So on the instructions, you can find the diagram. It's on page number 2, and it is 5 squares by 5 squares. So there's 25 squares altogether. When you go to join these to each other, they want you to use a flat seam. So what this means is that they're asking you to do an invisible seam. And so when you attach the squares together, you only do 1 loop on the one square, and then the other loop is on the other square. So they're considered the back loop, so the bottom of the 2. So you see that there's 2 loops, always get the bottom. So on the other side, if it was turned around, it would be this loop here. And what that will do is it'll cause the sewing to fall in between, and use the same color yarn to be able to sew it together so that it keeps the sewing really quite invisible. So once you have that done, you're then going to proceed to the border. With the border, they want you to attach to any chain 2 space, which is a corner, and then chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then you're going to 1 double crochet in each stitch until the next chain 2 space. And that chain 2 space is the connection spot. So you're gonna have a square here and a square here. And so what they're asking you to do is to do a 2 together double crochet using the space that is in this square here and this space to make it a 2 together. So essentially you're going to do it every time you see these points here. And so then its rest of it is going to be just double crochet then across. And then on your corners, when you get there, the corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then you'll proceed down and then again do your 2 together on this space here and then the next space to be able to do that. So that'd be round number 1. On round number 2, it's suggesting for your chain 2 space, which is the corner, is to chain 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. And then they want you to double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet into the same corner. So what that looks like at the end of the day, so if you have like the chain 4 and then a double crochet like this. So this is all going into the same corner. So each one of the corners will look like this. Okay. Then it's suggesting that you chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and then double crochet in the next, and then it's going to repeat. So you just chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. And so what you're doing is you're doing this configuration across. So you're creating spaces, and you'll have that. And because you've already done the attaching and because you've already done the first round, that should all line up. If you have a miscount in any way, just fake it. You're too far into the project not to. So if you had an extra stitch left over at the end, just kind of just wing it. There's no crochet police as far as I'm aware of. Once you get all the way back around, make sure that you do treat your corners like this. Okay, so when you get to your corner, it'll be just kind of turning. I know it's hard to see that. And just continue to go down the other side. Then on your final space, you're going to attach to any chain 1 space except for a corner chain, and then you're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the same space. So what they're asking you to do is that you're double crocheting into the chain 1 spaces. You're putting 2 into each, and this thickens up the border quite nicely. So you're skipping these double crochets and only operating into the chain 1 space with 2 double crochets in each. And then it says to continue along, so skip thing, 2 double crochet in the next chain, and working around, and then put 3 double crochet in each of the corner chain 1 spaces. So in the, okay, so there will be, in the corners, you'll have 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochet into this one, okay? And so then you jump, and then you're back into your spaces, just going all the way back around. Hopefully that makes sense, and it's actually a pretty easy border to be able to finish. And this here is the Wonky crochet blanket.